Imagine walking side by side with someone extraordinary for 3 years. You witness incredible miracles, blind people gaining sight, storms calming at a word, even the dead coming back to life. That's what Judas Iscariot experienced as one of Jesus' closest disciples. He was trusted enough to handle the group's money bag, feeling the weight of coins every day. Yet, something shifted inside him. Greed crept in slowly. Judas agreed to betray Jesus for just 30 pieces of silver, a modest sum like the price of a slave. At the Last Supper, Jesus knew what was coming. He said sadly, "One of you will betray me." The others were shocked, but Judas stayed calm, even dipping bread in the same bowl as Jesus. Later, in the Garden of Gethsemane, Judas approached with soldiers. He greeted Jesus with a kiss, not out of love, but as a signal to arrest him. Everything fell apart quickly. Jesus was taken away. Overwhelmed by regret, Judas tried to return the money, but it was too late. In despair, he ended his own life, hanging himself. The silver he chased became a symbol of ultimate loss. Judas didn't start as a villain. He made small choices, prioritizing comfort and cash over loyalty and courage. We all face similar temptations today. Cutting corners at work, chasing quick money, or selling out friends for personal gain. One bad decision can lead to irreversible regret. The story warns us, loyalty matters more than any paycheck. True value isn't in what we gain, but in who we stand by. Choose courage over comfort, and avoid Judas' tragic path. Cain, letting jealousy turn deadly. Imagine two brothers in the world's first family. Cain, the older one, worked hard as a farmer, digging in the dirt every day. His younger brother Abel took care of sheep, living a simpler life under the open sky. Both decided to bring gifts to God, offerings from what they had. Abel brought the best parts of his lambs, fresh and perfect. God accepted it with favor. Cain brought some of his crops, not the best, just whatever. God didn't accept it the same way. No fire from heaven, no sign of approval, just silence. That silence hit Cain hard. Jealousy started burning inside him. Why does God like Abel's gift more? I've worked just as hard. He felt overlooked, angry, and small. God noticed and warned him gently. Sin is waiting at your door like a hungry animal. It wants to control you, but you can choose to control it. But Cain didn't listen. Instead of fixing his heart or asking for help, he let the jealousy grow. One day, he invited Abel out to the field. "Let's talk, brother." It sounded friendly, but it wasn't. In a flash of rage, Cain attacked and killed Abel. The first murder in history. Blood soaked the ground that Cain had farmed. When God asked, "Where is your brother?" Cain lied coldly. "I don't know. Am I supposed to watch him all the time?" But the ground cried out with Abel's blood. God cursed Cain. "You'll wander the earth restless and alone. Nothing will grow easily for you anymore." Cain built cities to escape the guilt, but it followed him everywhere. Jealousy didn't just destroy Abel. It ruined Cain's life too. Today, that same jealousy lives in us. It starts small, comparing on social media, resenting someone's success, or feeling bitter when others get praise. If we let it grow, it can destroy relationships, careers, and even ourselves. The good news? We have a choice. Like God warned Cain, we can rule over it, talk about it, pray, celebrate others, turn jealousy into motivation. Don't let it turn deadly. Jezebel, the danger of using power and charm to hurt others. Jezebel wasn't always a villain. She started as a smart, confident princess who became queen of Israel. Beautiful and bold, she knew how to get what she wanted. But she used her charm and power in the worst way, to silence truth and crush innocent people. She brought her foreign gods into Israel and hated anyone who followed the real God. When prophets spoke against her idols, she didn't argue. She hunted them down and killed them. Hundreds died because she couldn't stand being challenged. One story shows her true colors. King Ahab, her husband, wanted a vineyard owned by a man named Naboth. Naboth refused to sell it because it was his family's land, passed down for generations. Ahab sulked like a child. Jezebel stepped in. She forged letters in the king's name, accused Naboth of cursing God, and had him stoned to death. Just like that, she took what wasn't hers. Later, the prophet Elijah confronted her false gods on Mount Carmel. Fire fell from heaven for God, but nothing for Baal. Her priests lost. Instead of changing, Jezebel threatened Elijah's life. Pride wouldn't let her back down. In the end, her power crumbled. A new leader named Jehu took over and ordered her thrown from a window. She put on makeup and fixed her hair, still acting like a queen, but it didn't save her. She fell, and her story ended in tragedy. Jezebel's spirit is still alive today. It shows up when we use our looks, influence, position, or words to manipulate, silence, or destroy someone quieter or weaker. Maybe it's gossip that ruins a reputation, or pulling strings to get ahead at someone else's cost. The warning is clear. Power and charm are gifts, but when we use them to crush others, we invite judgment. God sees the quiet victims. Their voices matter. The good news? We can choose differently. Drop the manipulation. Use your influence to lift people up, not tear them down. True strength protects the weak, not exploits them. Herod the Great, destroying innocence to protect power. Imagine a bright star lighting up the night sky, guiding wise men from far away to find a new king. They stop in Jerusalem and ask King Herod the Great, "Where's the child born to be king of the Jews?" Herod smiles, but inside he's terrified. His throne feels shaky. He tells them to find the baby and report back so he can worship too. But when they don't return, Herod snaps. In a fit of rage and paranoia, he orders his soldiers to kill every boy under 2 years old in Bethlehem and nearby areas. Swords flash in the quiet village. Mothers scream as their babies are taken. Innocent lives in just to eliminate one possible threat: a tiny baby named Jesus. This dark event, known as a massacre of the innocents, is told in the Bible, Matthew 2, verses 16 to 18. Herod was a real historical figure, a clever but cruel ruler appointed by Rome. He built amazing things like the expanded temple in Jerusalem, but he was paranoid, killing even his own wife and sons when he suspected plots against him. Historians like Josephus describe him as ruthless, which makes this story fit his character perfectly. Even if the exact event isn't recorded outside the Bible, likely because Bethlehem was small and the number of children, maybe 20 or 40, wasn't huge news in a violent era. Herod thought he could crush any rival by force. But Jesus escaped to Egypt with his mother, safe by God's plan. Herod died soon after in agony, his body rotting from disease, his power crumbling. Today, this warns us. When we cling too tightly to control, our job, reputation, or ego, we might hurt innocent people around us. Jealousy and fear can push us to destroy what threatens our throne. But real power isn't about crushing others. It's about trust and humility. Herod's crown turned to dust. Were you holding on to that might cost too much? The Pharisee, hiding hate behind religion. In Jesus' time, the Pharisees were the religious superstars. They knew every rule in the Bible by heart, prayed loudly in public so everyone could see how holy they were, and wore special clothes to show off their faith. On the outside, they looked perfect, but inside, many of them were full of pride and anger. When Jesus showed up, things got tense. He healed people on the Sabbath, a day when religious rules said no work was allowed. He hung out with tax collectors, sinners, and outcasts, people the Pharisees looked down on. Worst of all, Jesus called God his Father, which sounded like blasphemy to them. Instead of listening to his message of love and grace, the Pharisees got mad. They twisted his words, set traps with tricky questions, like, should we pay taxes to Caesar? Jesus shut them down every time, exposing their fake holiness. That made them hate him even more. In the shadows, they plotted. They spread lies, stirred up the crowd, and pushed for his crucifixion. When Pilate tried to free Jesus, the Pharisees shouted, "Crucify him! His blood be on us and our children." Even after the resurrection, they paid guards to lie and say the disciples stole the body. The Pharisee represents something scary in all of us, using religion as a mask for hate. It's easy to judge others, quote rules to put people down, or feel superior because of our beliefs. But Jesus warned that true faith isn't about looking good. It's about a humble heart full of love. Today, we see it too. People hiding prejudice, control, or ego behind "God says so." The warning is clear. One day, the mask comes off, and what's inside is all that matters. But there's hope. Jesus didn't come to condemn the Pharisees. He invited them to change. The same invitation is for us. Drop the pride, embrace real love, and let faith heal instead of hurt. True religion lifts people up, not tears them down. Pride that refuses to bend. The story of Pharaoh and Herod Agrippa. Imagine being so proud that you think you're bigger than God. That was Pharaoh and Herod Agrippa, two powerful men who saw miracles with their own eyes, yet chose ego over surrender, and both paid the ultimate price. Pharaoh ruled Egypt like a god. When Moses said, "Let my people go," Pharaoh laughed. "Who is this God? I don't know him." Then came the 10 plagues, blood rivers, frog invasions, darkness he would touch, and finally death to every firstborn. 10 chances to humble himself. 10 times he said no. Even after letting the Israelites leave, his pride roared back. Chase them. He drove his army straight into the Red Sea. The waters closed. The most powerful man on earth drowned because he refused to bow. Fast forward 1,000 years. Herod Agrippa stands in a shining robe that catches the sunlight. The crowd shouts, "This is the voice of a god, not a man." Instead of saying, "No, glory belongs to God," he smiles and soaks it in. Moments later, pain hits. Worms eat him alive. 5 days of screaming, then dead. 1 minute on a throne, next minute in a grave. All because he stole praise that wasn't his. Both men had power, fame, and clear warnings. Both saw God move in ways no one could fake. Yet pride locked their hearts. They thought they could outlast God's patience. We do the same when we ignore truth because it hurts our ego, when we keep hardening our hearts after every warning, when we take credit that belongs to God. Pride doesn't just make us stubborn, it makes us blind. And one day the door closes. But here's the good news. The same God who judged their pride is offering mercy right now. Bow today and live. Stay stiff-necked and sink. The choice is still yours.